John chapter 2 from verses 1 to 5. On the third day, there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Now, both Jesus and his disciples were invited to the wedding, and when they ran out of wine, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." Jesus said to her, "Woman, what does your concern have to do with me? My hour has not yet come." Then his mother said to the servants, "Whatever he says to you, do it." This is a very common story, and a lot of people have talked about it's the first miracle of Jesus. They talked about the wine, they talked about the wedding. But tonight, I want us to talk about the mother of Jesus, Mary. Do you know that Mary was the one that carried Jesus for 9 months? Mary held Jesus as a baby. She had fed him. She had watched him grow. And yet, when the wine ran out in that wedding, she didn't say, "My son, help." She acted as if she knew this was more than a child. She acted like she knew that Jesus was more than a child. She knew Jesus as a child, but trusted him as Lord, the one who has authority. In other words, she didn't allow familiarity to get into the way, like, "Jesus is my son. Oh yeah, just watch a miracle you for." No, he acted with so much maturity. And this has a lot to say about over familiarity. When you get too familiar with people, you lose a lot, especially if you fail to acknowledge the authority that they have, the position they have, just because you know somebody as your childhood friend, and the person is the CEO of a big company, and you have the opportunity to meet him. Then you just walk up to the person's office and say, "Please, I want to see Tola." Let's say, for example, the person's name is Tola. "Please, I want to see Tola." Just tell him, his childhood friend. How do you think the staffs will feel? So, what I'm trying to say tonight is, let us not get so familiar with people. It makes us lose blessing. When someone is in a position of authority or is older than you by the virtue of position, please respect it. And also, that's in terms of human being. Let's not get too familiar with Jesus. Like, I should be church and be see. They give birth to me in church. I know all the ways, the rules. I know the pastor. Over familiarity makes us to lose things. Though she carried Jesus as a child, she knew him so well, but she never failed to acknowledge that Jesus is way higher than her in terms of authority and position. And see, she was able to bring out the first miracle through that acknowledgement, even though it wasn't Jesus' time. I pray that this season, God will give us wisdom, so that we'll be able to honor people and not dishonor them. And let's not get too familiar with people. And you will receive more blessings and open doors rather than closed door, in Jesus' name. As we go to sleep tonight, may the Lord keep, watch, protect, and guide us in Jesus' name.